Welcome to a special episode of the podcast where we actually brought on our executive leadership team to talk about a whole lot of things. We had our biggest Q1 of all time. We're launching new product lines. We've grown substantially in a down market. You're going to hear directly from Rich Saginaw, Bray Allen, Brett Barber, live from Inside Self-Storage 2025. What an incredible experience it was. And if you were there, you definitely got to experience the momentum that we're experiencing right now as a company. We're really grateful for all of your support so far. And really, we're just getting started. We have a long ways to grow. This was a very exciting episode for us to record. I'm excited to share it with you. So let's go. It was a triumphant Q1, I would say. And here we are with our biggest booth ever at ISS. I feel like every time we're at ISS, we're talking about we're doing it bigger and better than ever. That's right. And so if you guys could just talk to us about how was Q1 2025?
Q1 was probably one of our best quarters on record. We kind of started off January a little bit slower than we anticipated, but February and March really turned out to be one of the best 2 months we've had combined. We've actually produced more volume and more revenue and more EBITDA than we did in all of our best quarter previous to that. So on a 2-month run rate, we were kind of right where we wanted to be, and we continue to go after it every morning and every day when we go to work. So we're really excited about where we are and happy to continue that progression as we go through the rest of the year.
Yeah, for sure. It's just an example of doing the right things. It pays off the way it ought to, and I think Q1 is kind of playing that out now, right? We made the moves that we needed to make. We made the initiatives. We started pressing like we needed to last year, sure, and have been doing that for a couple of years, and we're finally seeing the dividends of it, right? So that's just another shot in the arm 100%. To make Q2 even better, yep, and Q3 and progressively. So yeah, we're excited about where we're at. As Rick said, some internal records, but those are just records that we're going to break again. So yeah, we're super stoked about how we're progressing.
Yeah, that's right. I'll just add that it's essentially the life cycle of these projects from the time we get them booked to the time we can start shipping. It just goes to that point, Bray, of doing the right things, continuing to just build on where we have success and just continuing to get better at that every day.
Yep.
And it just has moved us forward to the point we are, and 2025 is set up to be a phenomenal year for us.
Yeah.
Right.
We're really starting to get our groove on. It feels pretty good, really, to be honest with you.
No doubt. So urgency is a new core value for us. And so what does that really mean for us as a company and how we're serving the customers?
Yeah, I'll jump in here.
Yeah.
Kind of just an internal motto for me has always been, why put off to tomorrow what you can do today? And that speaks right to that core value. And that's something at a leadership level we talk about all the time. And it's going to translate to us doing business better on a day-to-day basis, as well as making sure that we're feeding our customers what they need in a more timely fashion. So great move on our part to actually add that as a core value, and it's going to do great things for both sides.
It's becoming part of our just natural culture, right?
That's right.
And so I think what we kind of dealt with in the early onset of our organization was there may have been some timidness, right? Some of the young folks that we had and inexperienced people that we had, they may have been a little cautious to move so urgently. Today, Brett and his team with the sales group and Rich, of course, at the helm, and it's driving us to where we've coached and we've trained and we've mentored people to let them know how the business should work, what our expectations are, and where we're trying to go, right? So once you define the direction, it's much easier to move in a more rapid manner. Ergo urgency, right? And now that we have really defined what our expectations are and where we're trying to take this thing, we expect people to move more urgently. And we're doing that ourselves, right? Just this week we talked about make sure you're right and then full bore, right? We all pull in the same direction. It's much easier to get there quicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, it's about pace of play, right? How fast can you get and be reactive to what has to go on? But I think we're getting to be better as we got out of the startup mode and kind of starting to run and get really going as a company. That pace of play becomes really important when you're talking about the players on the field, right? So the better we can make decisions and the quicker we can react, be proactive with our customers and work toward the goals that we've set forward for ourselves, I think that pace of play becomes, these guys hear me talk about it all the time, right? How can we play faster and better to our customers than anybody else in this industry so that they understand that we really truly care about what they're doing on a project and how we get them from PO to CO, baby. PO to CO, right? Pace of play means everything. PO to CO, right? And I think our customers are reacting to that. It's been one of the success points we've had as an organization since we've started, and we want to do things differently, right? We just want to be that genuine person that people understand. Like, we've all been part of the construction industry, but when you translate to Bray's point, when you translate that down to your team and you can be concise in what we want to try to accomplish, I think people buy into that, right? And it becomes a natural evolution of your culture,
That's right.
which again is starting to breed that success, right? We're starting to get our groove and our swagger back a little bit. Out of that chaotic startup mode and not sure where the next corner might be and all those other things, right? So Yeah, it's a big deal, and I'm glad we made that change. We spent a lot of time initially on those core values. But yeah, I'm really excited about how that looks.
All right, incredible. And so even more exciting, our new product lines. So we've got it right here, actually sitting behind you guys.
That's this big boy right here, man.
And
Let that one go.
I think let's talk about that. Bray, if you want to hit it first.
Yeah, so we're constantly evolving as to how we service the market and what we're trying to take into the market. One of the things with urgency as we talk about it, right?
Yeah,
we
for sure.
get a little over-eager sometimes on the product development side. I'm guilty of that more than anybody because I see the need and I want to fulfill the need as rapidly as possible. But man, we've done the work. Our VP of Engineering, Brad Astolis, like he's really just stepped up and just crushing what his responsibilities and roles are. And that's enabled us just in Q3, Q4 of last year, we finalized some wind load testing. We did some additional wind load testing that we just this week, thankfully, we are now have all of our data uploaded to Florida Building, and then in turn TDI will follow right behind that. We're just waiting on product approval now. We're super excited about giving Brett and his team another product to offer out there, and then we've got more stuff coming out later this year. We've got our boat and RV door coming out. We've got just an entire commercial line of rolling sheet doors coming out as this year progresses. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of product information releases, just new product bulletins coming out of SteelBlue, just a lot over the next 6 months. So it's pretty exciting, right?
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah, for me, it's one of our other core values, right? It's that evolution, right? And now that pace of play is starting to kick in. We're able to kind of evolve into being the full service provider to all of our customers, right? That's what's got us really excited. You know, we launched last year, we learned the turnkey installation where we're able to do one contract and be able to get our licenses and do the things that we needed to do to get that squared away. We brought on Jack Rice, who's one of the best known construction directors in the industry, done it for many years and first class quality work. So all those product and all that support that we're trying to do, again, that pace of play and that urgency and that evolution of what SteelBlue is becoming has got me really excited, right? For the first time, I think I feel really good about the trajectory we're on. We got great partners in OpenTech and PTI and others that are helping support some of the offerings that some of our customers are asking for, which again is a competitive advantage we have by being open to everybody and doing the right things. Robert and David have been really great partners to work with as CEO to CEO, and it's been really fun to try to even see those ancillary products support what we're trying to do internally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would just say it goes to all of the points that the guys made here, and one of the things that we actually pride ourselves on, one of the reasons that we kind of got back into this arena is just our unwavering commitment to the customer excellence and continuing to evolve our product line and bring new products to the market. That's just another level of service to our customers to have that single source solution from SteelBlue, and they get it from top to bottom, and it's just another good addition, and we're super excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so something that comes up a lot when I'm talking to customers is tariffs. It's on everyone's mind. And so how are we addressing it? What are we doing to make sure that we're still serving the customers best we can?
It's a great question. It is top of mind for everybody right now because nobody really seems to know what the next day will bring. But I think what we've tried to do, and again, from the partnerships we've had in our previous careers and previous experiences, we've been very fortunate to allow that to happen locally and domestically. 95% of our supply is here in the United States and really within 400 or 500 miles of our facility, right? So we're not going to be as impacted by it. So we've been able to kind of navigate it fairly easy. Some of the CapEx equipment we have, we're getting creative on how that will impact us. We're more concerned about that than we are material supply. Those are the kind of things that we really got to do.
Other firms out there are citing weather as a reason to affect their decreased top-line revenue. And is weather something that you would say has affected our sales pipeline in your experience?
I'll let Brett handle that one.
Yeah, look, I would say if you're locked into a certain region, weather might play a factor in your ability to drive that top-line revenue. But the fact that we're doing business with some of the biggest general contractors, the biggest developers all over the U.S., it can definitely factor in, right? Like it's construction and it's outside. You're going to have that occasionally, right? It's just the way it is. But at the end of the day, it's about diversifying who we're doing business with and just executing at the highest level. And most of the time that's just a little hiccup or a little blip that doesn't really impact the business on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, it's not so much weather because in construction, it happens, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it just does. And I think the overall market is kind of sluggish right now, and I think everybody would kind of agree to that. But I think we're gaining some traction by the things that we're doing a little bit differently. We have been impacted by it, but it hasn't been enough for us to be deterred from what we're trying to get moving forward with. So by and large, it happens. Like I said, it's construction and things go wrong, and weather is part of it. But again, we just mitigate the best we can and make sure we have the right amount of volume to buffer against any of it.
That's right.
Right. And so sticking on with the sales pipeline, so is the majority of our pipeline within new construction, or are we also serving the replacements and restorations as well? And
Yeah,
conversions?
again, I mean, we're very diverse. We have some of the best salespeople in the industry that have longevity. We have so many relationships that go back 25 plus years, and it's with the biggest developers, the biggest general contractors, all the way down to the local mom and pops. And it's just a very diverse group that we, as SteelBlue, continue to serve. And that's how we've been successful in growing at the pace we have. Again, just when you tap into those long-built relationships, it continues to drive you. So,
yeah, and I think that's one of the things that some of our new product lines are going to do too. They're going to help us even open up a broader spectrum, more diverse customer base. Yeah. And so that's one of the things that's exciting about for me, is there's parts of the overhead storage that we hadn't even tapped into yet.
That's right.
And so as we grow, it's just going to continue to be more and more diversified. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome thing.
At the end of the day, the thing that I'm most excited about is our ability to penetrate the shed market and door-only customers, right? Yep. We just made a new acquisition in Dale Hall, who has decades of experience in that market. He's already hit a couple home runs in his first month here. So, and all the fine work that Ashley and yourself have done on the door-only coming off the website and our change with outer box. Right. It's an acorn that fell from the tree, and here we go. We're getting 1s and 2s coming in, and the new portal launch that we're going with, and all the things that are going to kind of accelerate that. That's another market that is another holy grail in terms of storage and shed and different diversification. So that's kind of the namesake. That's kind of the marketing all around what we're trying to accomplish and the persona of who we are and what we try to do, right? Not only just for the big GCs and the big stuff, but servicing that customer that needs 1s and 2s and 3s and 10s and a couple hundred. So completely different market, but it's a very good product for those applications as well. So for sure. Yeah, for us, that's another avenue for success, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And avenues of success you talk about. So we've succeeded largely in a down market. This is something that is kind of talked about a lot in the storage business. And so from a leadership perspective, what did you guys have to do to actually grow a company in this type of environment? A lot of people find that very challenging, but yet SteelBlue's been killing it.
Yeah, I'll answer it briefly like this. Right time, right place. It's humbling, to be honest. The customer response that we've gotten, it's very humbling that way. And I don't really want to play more than that into it, but we've succeeded because I think we're genuine in how we want to help the customer. We believe in our products, we stand behind them. We know we're going to make mistakes, but I think we own them and move on, and I think we've proven that to the market, that we're reactive, and when something goes wrong, we're trying to get you, again, back to that pace of play and that PO to CO, right? We want to get you off that project so you can start making money. The quality things that you've been putting together and the communications and the getting in front of the customer at the very beginning, getting spec'd by some architects who know who we are to get up in the front of that design build process. It's coming every day. We get more acceleration around that, and it helps when you're in a down market. We're really excited, but I also think it's prepared us to help us get through that startup period, right? We're kind of learning how we do things, and we're working a lot on processes and procedures and accountability and making sure that everybody on our team understands what our expectations are, to Bray's point earlier. That's what's got me really excited. We're growing really well and in a way that I think is not been disruptive to the market, but has been another option for people that are looking for alternatives.
Yeah, I'll just add, Rich, the one thing that we've really just focused on as a leadership team is just being present. And if you just take the trade show, for example, right? If we go back to our initial inception, and just choosing right time, right place to actually start presenting yourself, presenting who we are, and then again, being present in the market as much as we can all the time, whether it's a salesperson or it's product development. Again, we have the best engineer in the industry, and you continue to evolve that and control the things that you can control, and being personable and owning what you do on a day-to-day basis, it helps drive that growth. And again, market being up, market being down, it doesn't really come into play.
No, I agree with that. So Rich said something that kind of triggered with me. we're humble enough to know that we're going to make mistakes. We're humble enough to know that we're going to learn something today that we didn't know yesterday.
That's right.
But our customers, we're engaged with them enough to know that they know when we make a mistake, we're also going to make it right that fast, right? That's where the urgency comes in as well. And I think that's one of the things. We know we're going to make a mistake from time to time.
That's right.
Our goal is perfection. Excellence is tolerated.
That's correct.
Right? But when we do make that mistake, we fix it. We take care of it.
That's transparency too.
That's right. One of the things when we, very early on, when we were talking about product and what does it look like, and Rich and I would talk, Brett, and we would laugh about it, what this industry needed when SteelBlue came about is exactly what we provided. It wasn't some massive innovative product. It was a group of people that did what they said they were going to do. Right. And that right there is what makes you successful in an up market, a down market, sideways, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
If you do what you say you're going to do, that builds loyalty, it builds trust, it builds character, integrity, all the things that we pride ourselves in.
For sure.
The doors, we have the best door on the market, hands down. But it goes up and down like others' doors. But when we say we're going to be there on Tuesday, by God, we're showing up on Tuesday. And I think that's paramount for what this industry has needed. And we've provided that.
Absolutely.
So I have a question also about the segment that we serve. So are we still serving, and I know the answer to this, but we need the greater community to know this, are we still serving the mom and pop sort of markets, or are we serving the more higher capitalized groups that are out there now?
Yeah, again,
for sure.
We're servicing all levels. We've made huge strides. We've made huge strides in, again, driving those long-term relationships into the fact that now we're working with, just pick one of the top 5 or 2 of the top 5 or 3 of the top 5. We're doing business with them, and all the way down to the local people that are just building the facility for the first time. So we've got it covered from top to bottom. And again, it's from all the things that we've talked about. It's from just being present and supporting the product that we're putting in the market and sticking to that level of customer service that is what SteelBlue is all about.
Simple as answering the phone.
That's it.
100%. 100%. No matter what level of the organization that you call.
Yeah.
Like I admire that. And I say this obviously sitting here, but this guy answering the phone, if it rings in the office and it hadn't been picked up in a certain amount of rings, he'll pick it up himself. And that's paramount to who we are.
100%.
Right? So
I'm very proud of the team we have on the floor. I look at myself as the coach, right? And we're playing at a level that, again, we're 3 years old, right? And we went from nothing to here we are today. We joked about it last night at dinner. 3 years ago, our booth we were ripping out of a box in the middle of a hallway, and you look at what we got today, right? And it kind of shows what we're trying to get to. And we're doing that every day. And I'm very proud of the guys. Again, that humbling piece for me, we started this company, is the people that we brought on, the talent we've brought on to really accelerate what we've done in a short period of time. Again, that customer support, the right people, right time. It's humbling for sure, and I'm really proud of what SteelBlue has done.
Yeah, incredible work. And just to kind of finish things off, just give me a message to the customer base. What do you want to tell them? What do you want them to know about us at SteelBlue?
Yeah, I think our message is simple. We literally operate day to day. It's just an unwavering commitment to the customer excellence, right? We aren't successful unless our customers are successful. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's what we present. We just had breakfast with a new opportunity this morning, and that's how we present. And he even said that's what we hear. That's what we hear about who you guys are. So again, it's all about our customers. We're not doing this to see if we can make pretty SteelBlue doors, right? We're doing it to serve the market in the best capacity possible.
Yeah, so I think a couple of things that we've hit on here is just the fact that we're here. When we first started this deal, we would have the proverbial tire kickers like, who is SteelBlue?
Yeah.
What are they about? And now today, we don't have to prove ourselves anymore.
That's right.
We've stepped up, we've delivered, we've done what we said we were going to do. And now, rather than having to go out and hunt it and chase it as hard as we did before, and honestly getting work based off of your name.
Right.
We didn't have a brand name or a brand recognition.
Yep.
They bought from you. And today they're still buying from you and they know what they're getting. Yep. And so I think just the fact that we're here to stay, you see what you're going to get. Right. There's no smoke and mirrors here. There's no sitting in an ivory tower, not engaged. There's no, we're too big to do work with you. We're too important to fool with this little guy or that little business. when you become a customer of SteelBlue, you are a part of a family, and we're going to service you and take care of you regardless of what it takes from us.
That's right.
And that's what our employees do, the same thing.
Yep.
So we're committed, and the customer base is what's gotten us here, and we're going to help take our customer base to the next level.
Yeah, I'd echo all those sentiments. And the thing I would want to tell my customers and our customers today, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your trust in us. And really, thank you for pushing us back into this game. We really appreciate that, and we enjoy doing what we do, and we enjoy serving and working with all of you. So thank you, and we look forward to continuing to work projects together in many years into the future. And without the customers, it wouldn't have ever happened, so thank you.
That's right.
Incredible work, gentlemen. Yeah,
Go
congratulations.
SteelBlue.
We'll keep it
SteelBlue,
rolling.
baby.
Awesome, that was fun.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Jerry.